What if the life you're dreaming about isn't as far away as you think? What if the biggest thing standing between you and your future isn't your circumstances, your age, your background, or your resources? What if it's simply the decisions you're making every day? Welcome back to the Growth Conversations. I'm Elise.
And I'm John.
Today we're talking about something that has the power to completely transform your life. Not next year, not someday, not when everything is perfect. Starting today.
Because change doesn't happen when life becomes easier. Change happens when you become stronger. And by the end of this conversation, we want you to see your life differently. We want you to understand that no matter where you are right now, you can begin moving toward the person you're meant to become.
So, whether you're listening on your morning commute, during a workout, late at night, or while trying to figure out your next step in life, stay with us. This conversation might be exactly what you need to hear.
Let's start with a simple question. Why do so many people stay stuck?
That's such an important question. Because if we're honest, most people have dreams. Most people want to be healthier, more successful, more confident, more disciplined, more fulfilled. But wanting something and becoming something are two very different things.
Exactly. And one of the biggest reasons people stay stuck is comfort. Comfort is dangerous because it feels safe. You know what's interesting? Most people don't fail because they take massive risks. Most people fail because they never take any risk at all.
That's powerful. And comfort can disguise itself as security. We tell ourselves, I'll start next month. I'll wait until I'm ready. I'll begin when I have more confidence. But the truth is, confidence rarely comes before action. It usually comes after.
Think about learning to ride a bike. Nobody becomes confident and then gets on the bike. You get on the bike, you wobble, you fall, you try again, and eventually confidence develops. The same thing applies to life.
I think many listeners can relate to that. There are people listening right now who have been waiting years to start something. A business, a fitness journey, a new career, a creative project, a dream they've carried in their heart for a long time.
And here's the hard truth. Waiting rarely changes anything. Action changes things.
Let's talk about fear, because fear keeps so many people frozen.
Absolutely. Fear of failure, fear of embarrassment, fear of rejection, fear of looking foolish. These fears stop people before they even begin.
But what's interesting is that failure isn't usually what hurts people most. Regret does. Years later, people often don't regret the things they tried. They regret the opportunities they never pursued.
That's because failure teaches. Regret haunts. Failure gives you information. Regret gives you questions that never go away. What if I had started? What if I had believed in myself? What if I had tried?
There's a quote I love. The pain of discipline weighs ounces. The pain of regret weighs tons.
That's true. And here's something listeners need to remember. Every successful person you admire has failed. Every one of them. Not once, many times. The difference is they didn't let failure define them. They allowed failure to teach them.
Let's go deeper. Another reason people stay stuck is negative self-talk. The conversations we have with ourselves shape our lives.
Completely. Many people are fighting battles that nobody else can see. And one of those battles is the voice inside their head. The voice saying, "You're not good enough. You're too late. You're not smart enough. You'll never succeed."
Imagine hearing those words every day. Eventually, you begin to believe them.
Exactly. And once you believe them, your actions start matching those beliefs. That's why changing your life often begins with changing your internal dialogue.
So if someone listening constantly criticizes themselves, what's the first step?
Awareness. You can't change what you don't notice. Start paying attention. Listen to your thoughts. Notice how often you're speaking against yourself. Then ask, would I talk to a friend this way? Because many people show more compassion to strangers than they do to themselves.
That's such an important point. Growth isn't just about pushing harder. It's also about learning to support yourself.
Absolutely. Now let's talk about procrastination, the silent dream killer.
I think almost everyone struggles with this at some point.
Because procrastination isn't usually laziness. It's often avoidance. People avoid difficult tasks, difficult emotions, difficult decisions. And every day they postpone action, the problem grows.
It's like carrying a backpack. The longer you wait, the heavier it feels.
Exactly. And here's the irony. The thing you're avoiding is often easier than the stress created by avoiding it.
That's so true. Many times, the anticipation is worse than the actual work.
Which brings us to another dangerous mindset, the victim mindset.
Let's explain that carefully, because life genuinely gives people challenges.
Absolutely. Bad things happen. Unexpected setbacks happen. Unfair situations happen. But there's a difference between experiencing hardship and building your identity around powerlessness.
Can you explain that?
Of course. A victim mindset says, my life is this way because of everyone else. I can't move forward. I have no control. A growth mindset says, this situation is difficult, but what can I do next?
The focus shifts from blame to responsibility.
Exactly. And responsibility is where power begins. Because the moment you take responsibility, you regain influence over your future.
Let's pause here and ask our audience something. What area of your life have you been avoiding responsibility for? Maybe it's your health. Maybe it's your finances. Maybe it's your relationships. Maybe it's your goals. Take a moment and think about it.
And if something came to mind immediately, don't ignore it. That's probably the area where growth is waiting for you.
Leave a comment below. What's one thing you're ready to take responsibility for starting today?
Because awareness is the first step toward transformation, and transformation starts with honesty.
Before we move into the next section, let's summarize. Most people stay stuck because they're trapped by comfort, fear, negative self-talk, procrastination, and a mindset that gives away personal power.
But here's the good news. None of those things have to control your future, because everything changes the moment you decide to take ownership of your life.
And that's exactly what we're going to discuss next. The moment everything changes. The moment a person stops waiting, stops blaming, stops hesitating, and finally decides to become the author of their own story.
Because there's one realization that changes everything. And once you understand it, you'll never look at your life the same way again.
John, you mentioned a realization that changes everything. What is it?
It's simple, but it's not easy to accept. Nobody is coming to save you.
That's a statement that can feel uncomfortable.
Very uncomfortable. Because many people spend years waiting for motivation, waiting for confidence, waiting for the perfect opportunity, waiting for someone to believe in them, waiting for life to suddenly become easier. But eventually, successful people reach a turning point. They realize that the rescue they've been waiting for isn't coming. And strangely enough, that's one of the most empowering moments of their lives.
Because once you stop waiting, you start acting.
Exactly. You stop looking outside yourself for answers. You stop hoping circumstances will magically change. You stop giving away your power. And you start asking a different question. What can I do today?
I think many people can remember a moment like that. A moment when they realized that if their life was going to improve, they had to become the person who made it happen.
Absolutely. I think every major transformation begins with personal responsibility. And I want listeners to understand something. Responsibility is not blame. Those are different things. Responsibility doesn't mean everything is your fault. Responsibility means you're willing to take ownership of what happens next.
That's such an important distinction, because blaming yourself keeps you stuck in the past. Responsibility moves you toward the future.
Exactly. Imagine two people facing the same setback. Both lose an opportunity. Both experience disappointment. One spends the next year asking, "Why did this happen to me?" The other asks, "What can I learn from this?" The event is the same. The future becomes completely different.
Because one person focuses on circumstances, the other focuses on growth.
Right. And growth always begins with ownership. I once heard someone say, "The day you take full responsibility for your life is the day you gain full control of your future." That stayed with me because it's true.
Let's talk about self-respect, because I think that's connected to responsibility.
Very much so. Most people think self-respect comes from success. I believe it comes from keeping promises to yourself.
That's powerful. Can you explain?
Sure. Imagine you tell yourself you're going to wake up early tomorrow. Then you don't. You tell yourself you're going to exercise. Then you don't. You tell yourself you're going to start that project. Then you don't. Over time, something happens. You stop trusting yourself. And when you stop trusting yourself, confidence disappears.
Because confidence isn't built through positive thinking alone. It's built through evidence.
Exactly. Confidence is earned. Every time you keep a promise to yourself, you create evidence. Evidence that you're capable. Evidence that you're disciplined. Evidence that you can rely on yourself.
I think that's something many people overlook. They're trying to feel confident before they act. But confidence often comes after action.
Always. Action creates proof. And proof creates belief.
Let's ask our audience something. What promise have you been breaking to yourself? Maybe it's getting healthier. Maybe it's saving money. Maybe it's spending less time scrolling on your phone. Maybe it's pursuing a dream you've delayed for years. Whatever it is, identify it. Because awareness creates change.
And here's a challenge. Today, keep one promise to yourself. Just one, not 10, not 20, one. Build momentum. Build trust. Build self-respect.
Because small victories become bigger victories.
Exactly. Now let's transition into something that people often misunderstand. Motivation.
I already know where you're going with this.
Most people think motivation is the answer. It's not. Motivation is useful, but motivation is temporary.
It's a feeling.
Right. And feelings come and go. Some days you feel motivated. Some days you don't. Some mornings you wake up energized. Other mornings you don't want to get out of bed. If your success depends entirely on motivation, you're going to struggle.
So, what's more important?
Discipline. Discipline is what carries you when motivation disappears. Discipline is what gets you moving when you don't feel like it. Discipline is what separates wishful thinking from actual progress.
Let's go deeper into that, because I think discipline has a bad reputation. People hear the word and imagine punishment.
That's true. But discipline isn't punishment. Discipline is freedom. And I know that sounds backwards.
Explain.
Think about finances. Without discipline, money controls you. With discipline, you gain financial freedom. Think about health. Without discipline, bad habits control you. With discipline, you gain physical freedom. Think about time. Without discipline, distractions control your day. With discipline, you control your future.
So, discipline isn't limiting your life, it's expanding your possibilities.
Exactly. Discipline gives you options, and that's why successful people value it so much.
Let's talk about consistency, because everyone wants dramatic results.
And that's the problem. People underestimate consistency. They want overnight transformation, but real change is usually invisible at first. Think about planting a seed. You don't see immediate growth, but something important is happening beneath the surface. Roots are developing, strength is forming, preparation is taking place.
The same thing happens in personal growth.
Absolutely. You read one chapter, you don't become an expert. You exercise one day, you don't become fit. You save money one week, you don't become wealthy. But when you repeat those actions consistently, everything changes.
Small actions become extraordinary results.
Exactly. And here's something listeners should remember. Success rarely comes from one giant decision. It comes from thousands of small decisions, made consistently over time.
That's such a hopeful message, because it means change is accessible. You don't have to change your entire life overnight. You just have to improve, one step at a time.
One of my favorite questions is this. What could happen if you improved by just 1% every day? Not 50%, not 100%, just 1%. The results after a year would be incredible.
Let's pause for another audience reflection. Where are you looking for massive change when you should be focusing on small, consistent action? Think about that, because your future is being built by today's habits, not tomorrow's intentions.
And here's another truth. The life you want is usually hidden behind the work you're avoiding. The difficult conversation, the workout, the early morning, the learning process, the uncomfortable decision. Growth lives on the other side of discomfort.
I love that. Growth lives on the other side of discomfort.
Because comfort maintains, discomfort transforms.
As we move into the next part of this conversation, we're going to talk about something that determines how you interpret every challenge you face, your mindset. Because two people can experience the exact same situation and create completely different futures.
And once you understand how mindset shapes reality, you'll begin seeing opportunities where you once saw obstacles. That's where real transformation starts.
John, I think the word mindset gets used a lot these days. People hear it everywhere. But what does it actually mean?
To me, mindset is the lens through which you see the world. It's not just what happens to you, it's the meaning you assign to what happens. Two people can experience the exact same setback. One sees proof that they're not good enough, the other sees an opportunity to learn. Same event, completely different future.
So, the event isn't what determines the outcome. The interpretation is.
Exactly. Imagine you're turned down for a job you really wanted. One person says, "I'll never be successful." Another says, "I need to improve my skills and come back stronger." One thought creates hopelessness. The other creates growth.
That reminds me of something I once heard. Your mind is always listening to the story you tell yourself.
And that's why the story matters. If you keep telling yourself you're unlucky, you'll stop trying. If you keep telling yourself you're behind, you'll rush through life instead of learning from it. If you keep telling yourself you're incapable, you'll never discover what you're actually capable of.
So, changing your life begins by changing the story.
Yes, not by pretending everything is perfect, not by ignoring reality, but by choosing a story that moves you forward instead of keeping you stuck.
Let's talk about failure again, because so many people see failure as the end.
Successful people see it differently. They treat failure as feedback. Imagine a scientist running an experiment.
If it doesn't work, they don't say, I'm a failure. They say, now I know one way that doesn't work. Then they try again.
That's such a healthy perspective.
It is. Unfortunately, many people make one mistake and then they label themselves. I failed becomes I am a failure. Those are completely different statements.
One describes an event, the other describes an identity.
Exactly. Never confuse an event with who you are. You can fail at something. That doesn't mean you are a failure. You can make a mistake. That doesn't make you a mistake.
I think someone listening really needed to hear that.
I hope so, because growth requires giving yourself permission to be a beginner. Nobody starts as an expert. Nobody is born confident. Nobody wakes up disciplined overnight. Everything worthwhile is built.
Brick by brick.
Day by day, choice by choice.
Let's shift toward confidence. People often ask, how do I become more confident?
I usually answer with another question. What have you done recently that makes you proud of yourself? Because confidence grows from action. Every promise you keep, every obstacle you overcome, every difficult conversation you have, every uncomfortable challenge you face, those moments become evidence.
Evidence that you can trust yourself.
Exactly. Confidence isn't waiting for fear to disappear. It's moving, even while fear is present.
That changes everything, because many people believe fearless people are confident. But maybe confident people simply act despite fear.
That's exactly it. Courage isn't the absence of fear, it's the decision that something else is more important.
Let's ask everyone listening something. What's one thing you've been avoiding because you're afraid? Write it down. Now ask yourself, what would happen if I took one small step today? Not tomorrow, today.
Because action shrinks fear. Thinking usually enlarges it.
Now let's move into something practical. Habits. Because inspiration is wonderful, but habits create transformation.
Absolutely. Your future is hiding inside your daily routine. People want extraordinary lives, yet they ignore ordinary habits. That's backwards.
Where should someone start if they feel overwhelmed?
Start with your mornings. You don't need a perfect morning routine, you need an intentional one. Instead of reaching for your phone the moment you wake up, take 5 minutes to breathe, reflect, stretch, pray if that's meaningful to you. Write down 3 priorities for the day. Choose your direction before the world chooses it for you.
I love that. Choose your direction before the world chooses it for you.
Because if you don't control your attention, something else will. Notifications, emails, social media, breaking news. Before you know it, your day belongs to everyone except you.
Let's talk about reading. It's one of the simplest habits, yet so many people underestimate it.
Reading is like borrowing decades of experience from someone else. A single book can save you years of mistakes. You don't need to read for 3 hours. Read 10 pages, 20 minutes. Be consistent. Knowledge compounds.
Just like money compounds.
Exactly. Tiny investments, massive returns over time.
Exercise is another habit that affects far more than physical health.
Absolutely. Exercise teaches discipline, it teaches consistency, it builds resilience, and perhaps most importantly, it proves to yourself that you can do difficult things.
Even on days when motivation is low.
Especially on those days. Those are the days that build character.
What about journaling? Some people think it's only for writers.
Not at all. Journaling is thinking on paper. It slows your mind down. It helps you identify patterns. It turns vague emotions into clear thoughts. Sometimes the answers you're searching for appear once you finally give yourself space to think.
I love asking this question in my journal. What kind of person do I want to become? Because it shifts my focus away from short-term goals.
That's a powerful question, because goals are temporary. Identity is lasting. Don't just ask, what do I want to achieve? Ask, who do I want to become?
Someone who keeps promises. Someone who learns. Someone who leads. Someone who serves. Someone who grows.
Exactly. When your identity changes, your habits follow. And when your habits change, your future changes.
Let's give our audience another challenge. For the next 7 days, choose one small habit, not 10, one. Drink more water. Walk for 20 minutes. Read 10 pages. Wake up 30 minutes earlier. Journal before bed. Meditate for 5 minutes. Pick one. Stay consistent.
Because success isn't created in one extraordinary day. It's created through ordinary days, repeated with intention.
And if you miss a day,
Don't miss two. Perfection isn't required. Consistency is. One missed day is a mistake. 2 missed days become a pattern. Protect the pattern.
that's such practical advice.
Here's one final thought before we move into our next topic. Your habits are voting for the person you're becoming. Every healthy meal casts a vote. Every workout casts a vote. Every book you read casts a vote. Every excuse casts a vote too. The question isn't, who do you hope to become? The question is, who are your daily actions creating?
Take a moment and think about that. If your last 30 days repeated themselves for the next 5 years, would you be proud of where you'd end up? If the answer is yes, keep going. If the answer is no, today is your opportunity to change direction.
Because every new life begins with one new decision. And in the next part of our conversation, we're going to talk about something every successful person has experienced: setbacks, failure, disappointment, and how those moments often become the greatest turning points in life.
John, I think this is the part many people need the most, because it's easy to stay motivated when everything is going well. But what happens when life doesn't go according to plan?
That's where character is built.
Anyone can stay positive when they're winning. The real test comes when things fall apart. When the promotion doesn't happen, when the business struggles, when the relationship ends, when your plans don't work out. Those are the moments that reveal who you're becoming.
And those moments can make people question everything. They begin asking, maybe I'm not meant for this. Maybe I should quit. Maybe success is for someone else.
Exactly. But here's what I've learned. A setback is not a signal to stop. It's an invitation to grow. Every difficult season teaches something that success never could.
Can you give an example?
Think about a tree. When a storm comes, the branches move with the wind. But what keeps the tree standing? Its roots. And here's the interesting part. The strongest roots often grow during the harshest seasons. People are the same. The difficult seasons deepen your character.
So, when life feels hard, maybe something stronger is being built underneath the surface.
Exactly. Progress isn't always visible. Sometimes your greatest growth is happening internally. You're becoming more patient, more resilient, more disciplined, more emotionally mature. Those qualities don't always show up immediately, but they'll shape everything you do later.
I love that perspective, because so many people measure growth only by external results.
Right. They ask, did I make more money? Did I lose weight? Did I get promoted? Those things matter, but ask yourself something deeper. Am I becoming wiser? Am I becoming calmer under pressure? Am I becoming someone who keeps going when things get difficult? That's real growth.
Let's talk about resilience, because people often think resilient people never struggle.
That's one of the biggest myths. Resilient people absolutely struggle. They feel disappointed. They experience fear. They doubt themselves. The difference is they don't stay there. They acknowledge the emotion, then they keep moving.
So, resilience isn't about never falling. It's about getting back up.
Exactly. Think about a child learning to walk. They fall hundreds of times. Imagine if they decided after the 5th fall, I guess walking isn't for me. It sounds ridiculous, but adults do something similar with their dreams. They fail once, maybe twice, and suddenly they believe they're incapable.
That's such a powerful comparison.
Failure isn't unusual. Quitting is. Most successful people simply stayed in the game longer than everyone else.
There's another challenge people face after a setback: comparing themselves to others.
Comparison steals more dreams than failure ever will. You look online. You see someone your age buying a house, starting a company, traveling the world, building a following. And suddenly your own progress feels insignificant.
But we rarely see the whole story.
Exactly. We compare our behind the scenes to someone else's highlight reel. That's never a fair comparison. The only comparison that truly matters is this: are you becoming a better version of yourself than you were yesterday?
I think that's a question worth writing down.
Absolutely, because your journey is unique. Your timing is unique. Your challenges are unique. Stop racing someone else's clock. Run your own race.
Let's shift into identity. Earlier, we talked about habits shaping who we become. Now let's talk about intentionally creating the future version of yourself.
This is one of my favorite ideas. Most people focus on changing their actions, but lasting change begins with identity. Don't ask, what should I do? Ask, what would the person I want to become do?
That's a subtle but powerful difference.
Imagine the future version of yourself. The version who's disciplined, healthy, confident, calm, successful, generous. Now ask yourself, how would that person respond to today's challenges? Would they give up after one setback? Probably not. Would they make excuses? Probably not. Would they keep learning? Absolutely.
So instead of waiting to become that person, you start acting like that person today.
Exactly. Identity isn't something you discover. It's something you build. Decision by decision. Habit by habit. Day by day.
What role does environment play?
A huge one. Your environment quietly shapes your behavior. If your phone is always within reach, you'll probably use it more. If healthy food is available, you'll make better choices. If you're surrounded by people who encourage growth, you'll naturally raise your standards.
So success isn't only about willpower. It's also about designing your environment.
Absolutely. Make the right choices easier. Make the wrong choices harder. That's one of the smartest forms of discipline.
Let's pause for another reflection. Picture yourself 5 years from now. What kind of person do you hope you've become? Not just what you've achieved. Who have you become? How do you treat people? How do you respond to challenges? What habits define your days? Take a moment to imagine that person.
Now ask yourself one final question. What decision would that future version of you want you to make today? Maybe it's making the phone call, starting the workout, opening the book, applying for the opportunity, forgiving someone, or simply refusing to quit. Whatever it is, don't wait, because the future version of you is built by the choices you make today.
And that's the beautiful thing about growth. You don't wake up one morning transformed. You transform through thousands of ordinary moments. Each choice, each habit, each challenge, each setback, each comeback. They all become part of the person you're becoming.
Exactly. And in the final part of today's conversation, we're going to bring everything together. If you've stayed with us this far, I want you to stay for just a little longer. Because the final message isn't about success. It isn't about money. It isn't even about motivation. It's about the decision that has the power to change the rest of your life. And that decision begins the moment you stop waiting and start becoming.
John, after everything we've talked about today, comfort, fear, discipline, mindset, habits, setbacks, identity. If someone listening only remembers one message from this entire conversation, what do you hope it is?
I hope they remember this. Your future is not decided by where you are today. It's decided by what you choose to do today. You cannot change yesterday. You cannot predict tomorrow. But you have this moment. And this moment is enough to begin.
I think that's what makes life so beautiful. No matter how many mistakes you've made, no matter how many opportunities you've missed, no matter how many times you've told yourself, I'll start someday, you can still choose today.
Exactly. People often think life changes because of one extraordinary event. Sometimes it does, but more often, life changes because of one ordinary decision repeated over and over again. The decision to wake up instead of giving up. The decision to learn instead of complaining. The decision to act instead of wait. The decision to become instead of simply wish.
There's something I want everyone listening to think about. Imagine meeting the version of yourself 10 years from now. The healthiest version, the wisest version, the strongest version, the kindest version, the most disciplined version. What do you think that future version would say to you?
I don't think they'd say, you're too late. I don't think they'd say, you're not good enough. I think they'd say, thank you. Thank you for not quitting. Thank you for taking the first step when it was uncomfortable. Thank you for believing in a future you couldn't yet see. Thank you for becoming the person I needed you to become.
That's powerful, because every decision you make today is a gift to your future self.
Absolutely. And here's something I've learned. Most people overestimate what they can accomplish in a week, but they underestimate what they can accomplish in 5 years of consistency. 5 years of reading, 5 years of learning, 5 years of exercising, 5 years of improving 1% at a time. That kind of consistency creates a life that once seemed impossible.
So don't measure your life by today's results. Measure it by today's direction.
Exactly, because direction is more important than speed. Some people move quickly in the wrong direction. Others move slowly towards something meaningful. Choose the right direction, then keep walking.
And if today feels difficult, remember this. You don't have to climb the whole mountain today. You only have to take the next step.
One conversation, one workout, one chapter, one application, one healthy meal, one act of courage, one promise kept. Small actions, repeated consistently, build extraordinary lives.
Let's leave our listeners with one final reflection. Close your eyes for a moment, if you're in a safe place to do so. Picture the life you truly want. Not just the house, not just the career, not just the achievements. Picture the person you want to become. Someone who lives with integrity. Someone who keeps their word. Someone who shows kindness even when life is difficult. Someone who continues growing long after everyone else has settled. Now ask yourself, what is one action I can take today that brings me closer to becoming that person? Hold on to that answer, because that's where your transformation begins.
And remember, there will never be a perfect time. There will always be another excuse, another distraction, another reason to wait.
The people who create meaningful lives aren't the ones who waited for perfect conditions. They're the ones who decided that today was enough.
Maybe this episode found you at exactly the right moment. Maybe you've been carrying doubt. Maybe you've been waiting for permission. Maybe you've been wondering if you're capable of changing your life. Let this be your reminder. You don't need permission to grow. You don't need permission to dream. You don't need permission to become better than you were yesterday.
You simply need a decision. Because every remarkable journey begins the same way, with one ordinary step, taken today.
Thank you so much for spending this time with us. If this conversation encouraged you, inspired you, or helped you see your life from a new perspective, we'd love to hear from you. Leave a comment below and answer this question. What is the one decision you're committing to after listening to this episode?
And if you believe someone in your life needs this message, share it with them. Sometimes a single conversation can change the direction of someone's future.
Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the Growth Conversations, and turn on notifications so you never miss a new episode. Every week, we're here to have honest conversations about growth, discipline, resilience, and building a life you're proud of. And we'll leave you with one final thought. Your life doesn't change when the calendar changes. Your life changes when your decisions change.
Start before you're ready. Stay consistent when it's difficult.
Trust the process when progress feels slow. Because one day, you'll look back and realize the life you once dreamed about began with the small decision you made today.
Take care of yourself. Keep growing, keep believing. And remember, the best version of your life is still being written. We'll see you in the next episode of the Growth Conversations.